The time for war is upon us.
Damage report now!
No, 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 no! Our engine core's been compromised! You're never breathing again.
Alright, the Viltrumite War just begun with an intercepting assault from Conquest together with Lucan and Crad on Alan and Nolan's mission back to Telestria. I have to say, seeing them having to save Oliver twice, no, thrice actually, really had me on edge to say the least.
Are you okay?
I don't need your help! I don't need your help!
What?
Though Oliver was able to hit Conquest quite good actually, judging by Conquest's reactions to Oliver's very quick hits on him. But the main event, of course, was Conquest's rematch with Mark, which was surprisingly sooner than expected. The fight was intense, to say the least. But of course, Mark ultimately wins. He still has to face Thrag later on and other stories and arcs ahead. Now, a lot of people, after being utterly horrified and mortified by the gruesome fight. I mean, I myself am not one to really be affected by gore, but this one really had me watching through my fingers. Literally, my palm was right in front of my eyes. Yeah. But anyway, a lot of people were actually asking how the hell was Mark even able to win this?
Let's be honest, it was mostly your magic girlfriend.
And as many pointed out, there were possibly multiple instances in the fight where Conquest could have or should have been able to defeat Mark. And that's what I want to look in today. Was Conquest actually able to win against Mark's literal stranglehold, or did everything that happened actually make sense? First, so Mark was strangling Conquest, and throughout Conquest hits, bashes, and eventually slices and pulls out Mark's guts. People point out that Conquest should have aimed for Mark's head instead, thus easily winning. The thing is, he did aim for Mark's head in the fight, and it did not work. So that already tells us why he tried something else. But anatomically, the reason why he couldn't just slice through Mark's head like the way he did his stomach is because the stomach is significantly less durable than the head. The brain is encased and protected by a skull. In humans alone, it's very, very durable actually, and quite hard to actually break through. And this especially is true for Viltrumites who have denser muscles and bones. The stomach, on the other hand, has always been a very weak spot. This is why most animals tend to sleep on their stomachs instead of their backs, as to not expose a very vulnerable area of the body. So, coupling these two facts explains why Conquest could not just crush or slice Mark's skull or head. He literally tried targeting Mark's head already, and the head is simply more durable than the stomach. Though one could also say that he should have targeted Mark's neck and sliced off his head instead, but it's possible that Mark's neck is also not that easy to be sliced, and again the stomach is still much more vulnerable anyway. I think Conquest was already getting desperate and wanted to strike at something with the least durability, thus increasing his chances as much as possible. Also, the way Mark was positioned with Conquest would not have allowed Conquest to do the proper motion and have the proper leverage to slice off Mark's head. It is actually possible, but that's how I would explain it. Next, people actually question how was Mark able to kill Conquest through suffocation when we know that Viltrumites can survive days if not weeks without breathing in space. Again, we have to look at the anatomy of things. Strangulation does not only restrict you from breathing, it also restricts blood flow, which is responsible for delivering oxygen available in the body to other organs. Viltrumites don't suffocate and die in space because their blood flow still carries the necessary gas or oxygen and other nutrients to their entire body, while in Conquest's case, Mark was stopping that from happening. So Conquest did not only die because he can't breathe, it's also because no nutrients and any oxygen or gas was going to his brain and other organs at all. Just to note, I say gas instead of just oxygen is due to the fact that the ability of the Viltrumites to breathe and use almost any type of gas or air for their metabolism, not just oxygen due to their smart cells. So that should explain it, right? Conquest was desperate, already having tried to strike at Mark's head and chest. He instead put all of his strength into striking the most vulnerable part of the body, which is the stomach. But another vulnerable part of the body is actually the eyes. However, even if Conquest was able to poke Mark's eyes out, that wouldn't necessarily kill Mark, incapacitate, or even release his death grip on Conquest's neck. So even if he could, between striking at the eyes, which will only blind Mark, and striking at his stomach, which holds vital organs, I think the choice was simple. Though lastly, I would like to mention that a possible argument against why Conquest did not target Mark's neck, due to the bones and neck muscles being stronger than this stomach, would be the fact that Conquest also broke through Mark's lower spine behind his stomach, which would imply he could have also severed the neck spine. But I don't know, maybe Conquest did not know or was not necessarily aiming at putting his entire arm through Mark, so he wasn't sure if he could break Mark's neck spine, or the spine in general. But those are my explanations why Conquest could have not so easily just crushed Mark's head and even neck, and why he, in his desperation, put all of his strength into a decisive blow against Mark's stomach, which is typically the most vulnerable part of an animal's anatomy. Do you think this makes any sense, or was this just a case of suspend your disbelief in fiction kind of thing? Let's discuss below, and next time I'll be discussing why Debbie shouldn't get back with Nolan and how stupid the Viltrumite society and empire really is. See you another time here within Mine Mind.